Signal transduction pathway. So this involves a signal acting on a receptor to produce a desired response. There are various types of signals, two major: soluble signals and insoluble signals. So the soluble signal will cross the cell membrane and act on soluble receptors. What this means is that both the soluble signals and the soluble receptors are lipophilic. They are made from lipid, okay? So they can cross the membrane. So the soluble signals will cross the membrane and act on soluble receptors. And we also have insoluble signals. For insoluble signals, they will have to act on transmembrane receptors. That's insoluble receptors, because they are lipophilic. They are made from protein. Okay, so that is that. Now, let's go back to the diagram. Signal transduction pathway. So we have this star-shaped molecule called the signal. Okay, and this signal will act on the receptor, on the receptor, on the cell. So this is a transmembrane receptor, and this will lead to activation of the receptor. Once the receptor becomes activated, it will lead to the formation of second messengers or secondary signals. These secondary signals will then act on effector, or will then act on transducer, and the transducer will then send a message to effector cells or the effector to produce the desired response based on the cell type. Now, we have several types of transducers, but I'll categorize them to two. We have amplifiers and integrators. So what amplifiers do is that they will pick up few signals or few second messengers, and they will make multiple second messengers or secondary messengers out of it. Then we have integrators. For integrators, they will pick more signals, let's say 2 or more signals, and make one signal to act on an effector to produce a response, a desired response. Some of the amplifiers we know are cyclase, gene protein, and kinase. Now, in a cell, when there are more than one amplification, that's 2 or more amplification, that is what we call cascade. So you've heard of signal transduction cascade. Means that there is what? Multiple amplification. Okay. We'll move on to integrators. So a popular example of integrator is phosphorylase. Phosphorylase is an enzyme, it's an important enzyme in the glycogenolysis pathway, which helps in converting glycogen to glucose 1-phosphate. This glucose 1-phosphate produced will then enter the glycolytic pathway.